Then I click here, go live. And then I just need to change it to public.
Yep, and then change your title.
And change my title. Okay, so how do I go to edit? And title, live day trading.
That's fine.
All right. Wait, how do I... Uh-oh, I'm having one more problem. Give me a second. Oh, never mind. I figured it out. Good morning. Hope everyone's having a good morning so far. Market looking very green today. This should be an exciting day and things should go really well. So lots of important levels. I'm looking at the SPY currently, as you can see here. And first thing, let's go through the 5 things I kind of look for market direction in any given market day. The first thing is the news. Well, the news is positive, so I would call that bullish. So I would expect, based upon the news and stimulus and all that kind of stuff, for there to be a bullish move on the market today. And so that's the first thing. Second thing is the Elliott wave theory. Now, we are currently still closing out a market correction. The price action hasn't given us a for sure movement here. So you can see on the daily here, and let me zoom in here to all of my craziness right here. Okay, so it happens in 3 waves. First wave is bearish, and then the second wave would be bullish up to, and this is what sets the end of the C wave. Comes down here, this C wave, that's very bearish. And then you watch for price action that it recovers and goes above this particular resistance line on the SPY. And so in this case, now that we've passed above, in my opinion, this is very bullish for the market, that this is another bullish thing. So we have news that's bullish, we have the Elliott wave that is bullish. And then the next thing that I look at, and this is just me, that I look at is the 10-year yields. I pay very close attention to those, the 10-year Treasury bond yields. And this morning, they are down a little bit, which is bullish. The lower interest rates are, the better the market typically does. And so at least for today, in short term, as far as market open, we are looking at that as a bullish indicator. And the 30-year is pretty much set the same. It's a little bit higher. I would call that bearish, and so that is 3 out of 4. And then the 5th and final thing I look at is price versus volume. So during this session today, I am going to just, and I wait for that last indication, you know, to kind of protect against a bull trap. But lots of different indicators are showing that is showing that this is a bullish session. So this could be a very good session. And so I probably will take a trade on the SPY. I usually do each and every day. But in this session, if you have any questions about any of the insider trades that I talk about in my top 7, this is a great place to ask questions. I want this to be a Q&A, and so I'm going to go through all the questions, and you guys can just watch me during the day trade and just kind of see how I act, what I do, what indicators I look at. Not that I know everything, but I have had a lot of success doing it, so, and also doing that. Good morning, Joanne. That's great. And let's see what else we got here. And let's see. Okay, APE and EU. Yes, I do think that we will see a pullback from these bullish levels. So it'll be that as we look at this Elliott wave, what I expect is that we will pass here. We will go up maybe to like 400, and then it will come back and it will test this line again. And then the chances are really high that it's going to bounce off of this resistance line and go back upwards. So that's what I think is going to happen. Now, does market care what I think? No. Market doesn't care what any of us think. So what could happen is we could pass below that and just enter a new correction. Hopefully that doesn't happen, or it be that this was a false breakout and us go lower. So of course that can happen, but I think it's a major overreaction how investors reacted to the bond yields moving up and how fast they went up. And so I still feel I am cautiously optimistic about the market. Okay, let's take a look at some other things. Alex, yes, I trade options. I love options. So today, probably on the SPY, I'm going to be looking at a call option, most likely, depending upon that final indicator that I get. But so far, 3 out of 5 are bullish. 1 is undecided. And so looking for a good trade, in my opinion. Let's see. Okay. What are the top 7 for the day? Well, actually, they're very close. The only couple that have changed, let me see, I got my top 7 list here. I just came out with the top 7 video that launched last night. In fact, it's exactly the same. It hasn't changed. I am still bullish on those 3. Although, however, I will look for an exit point probably today on Camping World. Also, probably an exit point today with the market being up. I like to sell when the market's up, and I like to buy when the market is down. And so, Camping World is one that's on my list of stocks that could bite the dust today. Be a good exit point on it. And I did sell ADT this morning in pre-market. Someone paid me way too much, made 9% on it in pre-market. I'll do that. Sometimes I'll set up a pre-market price that's really high, and as investors are anxious to get in, they will pay more, typically in pre-market. FOMO hits, and that really is not the best time to buy as pre-market, but sometimes you can get a good deal. But when the market's up like this, usually members overpay, and so or people overpay for different stocks. That's just human nature, worrying about that. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, the PDUFA run-up play is something that I trade strategies. I don't trade stocks, I trade stock strategies. And the PDUFA play is a very, very effective stock strategy. And basically what I'm doing is I'm looking for a stock with a really high analyst target. I'm looking for a PDUFA date anywhere between 1 week to 6 weeks out. And anyone who watched my video saw... anyone who watched my video on PDUFAs, and if they bought Avio, man, that got approved yesterday, and I sold that for a nice 82% gain. That was really unexpected that it be that early, but sometimes that can happen. Typically, when approvals happen, they happen early, and when CRLs happen, they happen late. So typically after the date. So if you're on the date of a PDUFA and someone and the company hasn't announced, what's happened or hasn't, even either given a decision, good or bad, then typically it's bad. Just as a rule, the percentages are higher. Now, I do not hold through decision date. I like to sell a couple days before. I'm looking for an exit point when the RSI on the daily becomes just too high. And so, like for example, the RSI right now on SPY is at 53. I would say too high is anything at 80. Anything at 80 is definitely not a good deal. And so I think that's what I look for as an exit point on those. But expect those to come out. I'm going to do a PDUFA video. I'm planning on doing one each and every week to either update PDUFAs that I'm in, and then also announce any new ones that I think will do great. So I'll be looking for a replacement to that for sure, for that one that went so well. Let's see, any opinion on gold and silver? Yeah, gold and silver will probably move upwards, although don't expect any explosive moves. It's going to be a slow and steady climb, but I do expect that to happen as the dollar becomes weaker, I think, as the dollar becomes, as we see more, definitely with the stimulus and how everything's going, I think that gold and silver is a very good investment over the long term. Hey Wyatt, how's it going? Appreciate talking to you every day in our group. And we have a Patreon group and a Discord with 3 different levels. Basic, we have the basic level is only $27 a month. And a lot of our basic members are enjoying an average 20% gain every single month. Of course, that's no guarantee of future results, but you might check it out. We have a link in the description down below or in any of our videos to our Patreon group, and it's a great group of investors. Let's see, how to start with day trading, Mr. Grand Admiral Thrawn. Well, okay, market's open. So, excuse me just one moment here while I take a look. All right, so I'm hoping for a pullback, definitely thinking bullish on the market. Anyone looking for a trade that should do well today, I would think XPEV would be one to look at. I just had an alert go off on that one. How to start day trading? Well, you do not have to have 25,000 in your account. You do have to, you can of course day trade and just day trade a couple days a week, and that's what a lot of people do until they get their account. There's some other things you can do. You can create multiple accounts so that you can trade on one and the other. So I'm just waiting for an entry point here. I'm definitely bullish on the SPY, and so I am hoping for a pullback. And some of the things that I'm looking for is I'm looking for the RSI to, of course, come down. I have a lot of holds right now, so if I don't get an entry point and it just goes to the moon, I'm okay with that. But this is what I'm looking for. And so the first thing I look for is going to be a negative cross. Here, you can see down below, I have my MACD right here. And the MACD is set at 12, 26, and 9. And then this is my RSI. And literally what I'm looking for is a negative crossover, which we just had. So this little red bar right here, if you can see my cursor, that's one thing that we're looking for, and we are looking for it to completely form, for it to go red, go down, and then for it to cross again over the blue line, and then that's a perfect point of entry. That is how I map out my confirmation that the stock is going to, that the stock, or in this case, ETF is going to move upwards. Now, it is not 100% successful, but what I will do is literally, I will buy and then I will sell at a negative cross. And so I will buy down here and I will sell there. And that's really oversimplified. And I'll buy options. So what I'll do is I'm looking at call options on this. So I'll look at a call option once the entry point presents itself. And then I'll go in that way and go call options, and then I'll sell out when it hits higher. And I have about an 80% success rate at the beginning of the morning, and the morning time is the best time to do it because that's where the most market volatility is happening. So, okay. So still forming here. You can see we have 2 red bars here, and it's still forming and moving up. Grand Admiral Thrawn, which is the best broker for trading? I like Webull. That is that's the one I like to trade with the best. I like its option setup. Of course, I'm used to it. We have a link in the description, and if you're looking to get some free stocks, it's a great broker. I use Schwab also a lot. I love Schwab for like OTCs. We've just had a positive crossover, so now we are going in, and let me see which one I like. SPY. Now, everyone, I like to buy an option that is about 2 Fridays away, typically. So I'm looking at March 19th, and I like the, let's see, calls. And I just went into, I like ones with high volume. The highest volume is going to be the 395 calls. I just went in for 258 per contract. 258 per contract. So I'm going to write that down. Call. Okay. $3.19 expiration. Okay, so we've had some price strength here, looking really good. Moving up there. All right. Looking like a good trade. We shall see how this pans out. Stocks from the top 7 so far this morning. We have INSEE up 1.58%. Had that one a long time. Camping World is up 4.19%, and I just sold that. So that one is, I don't have any more. ADT sold in pre-market. That is how that's going. This trade's looking pretty strong. John Metz, yeah, Live Nation. Is that LiveX that you're talking about? I saw more insider activity on that one, and it was really small. I think if that's the stock that you're talking about, it was really small, and I did like it. I thought it was good. Okay. Okay, this candle hasn't formed yet. Really interesting. Should have waited a little longer to enter. Entered probably a little soon. However, I do think this is going to be very bullish. Freight Max on ADC and Camping World, I believe I did post it, if I'm not mistaken. Did post those in the Discord. Underneath the Insider tab. Yeah, CWH and ADT. I posted both of those as sales this morning. Okay, Varner, sometimes you notice a discrepancy between Open Insider and my callouts. I use insider-monitor.com is what I use. Okay, so Fuzzy, man, I hope I say that right. I know I'm just totally... I entered a SPY trade already on an option SPY trade. I'm expecting the market to be green today and for it to move up. And so let's talk about some of the SPY levels that I think that are really important. The pivot point is 389.71. So we're obviously way above that. Resistance 1 is 391.26. We are above resistance 1. Resistance 2 is 392.94. So that's an important level. Looking forward to that. Entered into a trade. Some levels I'm looking at. The first is, since we're bullish, 393 is an important level to watch. This thing crossed into the negative and I didn't sell. Let's see what happens here with this. I entered too early. I usually need to wait at least 5 minutes before market open, but I saw that positive cross and then we got a negative right after it. And so that's, the market just can be so volatile right at market open, at least 5 minutes in. So I made that little rookie mistake there. So anyway. I'm confident it'll work out really well. So 392.15 is where we're at. $393.50 is really my goal. If you're interested. Okay, so we have here, it looks like we're going back to the bullish side, which is good considering I bought those call options. 258 is a good price for it though. I feel really good about this trade. I think it's going to do well. Still have not had the fifth indicator, so my price volume indicator that I have has not triggered yet. So interesting. We shall see what happens when that happens. Okay. So this candle has a high of 392.56 right here, and it's important to break that level and can kind of continue upwards here. Snow is doing great. Really, really doing well. Okay. Let's see here. It's moving up. All right. Now we got a little green thing down here. That's wonderful. And we have another cross in the positive looking really strong. John, yeah, I have been waiting for a dip in apron also. That is crazy how it's moved upwards. Hasn't happened yet. Guess we should have picked up apron last night. Solution by Government Consulting. You're welcome. That was a great trade. Really, really, really great trade. Really looked good. Okay. So looking at the tape over here, and this is something I like to look at, you can see, man, there's lots of activity, but there's always lots of activity on the SPY, so that's not unusual. TradingView is a great program, John. I like it very much. I don't really use it, but it's very, very good. Okay. Apron is not going to give us an entry point that I like, I have a feeling. Okay. Now 392.56 has now become a very important level to hit. You're welcome, John. I love trading stocks. It's definitely a lot of fun. Should have been more patient. Listen to my buddy Brian. I see that you're in here, Brian. Gotta wait for that shakeout. Still no indicator of my price volume, so in the meantime, let's kind of go through some of these insiders and how they're doing. First of all, there's Apron that is not dipping at all, not providing a good entry point at all. That's one that has been a call out looking for an entry point on. The next is EVFM, having a little bit of a pullback, but what a great day it had yesterday. I do expect that will be temporary. Snow is doing fantastic. Looking really good today. Taste also doing very well. NTAP, NTAP up 1.92%. PH up 0.48. Wendy's is down a little bit. They had good news yesterday. I do expect that to continue upwards. CTHR is a stock that is down a little. That has been a great trade for us also. INSEE up 1.69. So waiting on INSEE for that $90 price target that I have. That one's going to be kind of a longer term one. Yeah, CTHR is down just a tad bit. Curie, and I do think with the green market day, though, that it will move upwards and do really, really well today. So I'm kind of waiting that one out to kind of see what happens. All right. I'm waiting on Apron. I really think it's going to come down. I think that's way too high. I just don't want to get caught on it. So far in this trade, I'm down about 6%. We shall see. Definitely got in too early. It looks like it's coming up here, and that would have been a perfect entry point. Still haven't gotten my price and volume. Hasn't been tripped yet for bullish, so we're waiting on that. I imagine it'll be bullish with everything else being bullish. The news, the Elliott wave, the 10-year, the 30-year. So John, yes, the Discord is for Patreon members only that we have. And it's a great group. Swami Mommy, I would look for an exit point on AVO. Typically, it moves big after the announcement, and then the sell the news becomes kind of a thing after a day or so. And so I don't know. I took my profits. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. You might look back on that and say, oh man, I sold. But my recommendation, and what I did, is that I sold it yesterday. Really nice 82% gain. Can't complain about that. It did go all the way up to $19. I do not know where it's at currently, but a really great trade. So, really great trade. Look forward to more great trades coming up. So that strategy is back, and I expect to do very, very well. Okay, next important level is 392.56. Breaking that previous high is a big deal. That's where we're at on this SPY trade. Let's see. All right, John, well, we look forward to you being there. It's, the basic membership, I think, would be perfect. It's $27 a month. That's where a lot of the calls generate. I know that you're part of another group that I've had forever. So anyway, that's something to look at definitely for the future. And John, I think you and me have a mutual friend in Charles. Charles, he has been a good friend of mine for a while. Let's see. Corey, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever arrived. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's poor self-esteem or something. It's like every time I start to feel really good about myself, I make a bad trade. So I know that I have a lot of good trades, and I have an average win rate with insiders right at 70%. And then with the PDUFAs, it's right at 70% on those also. But the average gain on the PDUFAs has really been good. So looking forward to that being a thing again. And we just got this really nice green candle here. So really looking forward to, this is starting to move up. Now down less than 1%. It looks like this stock's going to start, hopefully SPY starts moving upwards here. And that'll pull the rest of our stuff up. Thanks, Corey. Yeah, and I know the standard's 100, and some people give me a hard time about that, but the standard has John Anderson's calls in there. The guy he's very, very smart. And then also Devin's calls. Those penny calls have been really, really good. And I don't participate in a lot of them. I have enough going on, but if you are looking for some quick day trades, I mean, that standard room, he provides setups all the time. John's trades, most of those are like 3 to 5 day holds. He has a lot of really great ideas. He's really an expert at like the SPACs, the special acquisition companies, and really, really good. And then in our premium room, we cover, and the premium room's even a little bit more, but it's all of my long-term stuff. So it's got my mid to long-term holds in there. Also, it has, it's got the earnings run-up play call-outs that John Anderson's does, and that is an options trading strategy. And there's lots of great options strategies in the standard room too, along with like Kevin Higgins, Jason is in there. Lots of great guys who can definitely, if you're looking for options trading, there's lots of great stuff going on in those rooms. SONM for day trade. Ah, yes. They blew away, SONM, Wyatt, they blew away their earnings. I would say, that you would map it just the same as here. I do not know if it's hit its price target. I kind of set if it broke $1.50, that it was going to be a really great trade. I would set it up, wait for an entry point like right here. I don't know if you can see my cursor right there at the bottom. When you're looking at that chart, I would set it up with the MACD and the RSI. This is the MACD, this is the RSI. And when you see this movement here, and for it to move up, basically this is two moving averages. This is how this works. And anyway, at that point, you would want to enter, and then I would look for an exit when you got to your 3 red, or when you got a red bar down here, and look at it that way. But I'm not looking at that chart currently, but you can't blow away earnings more than what they did. And so that's why that's why it was on my trading list this morning, on my watch list. Thanks, Andrea. I think it's worth it too. David, unfortunately, John, he's part of the team, and I've kind of set him up for the standard and the premium rooms, his call outs. I apologize. You do get my calls though in the basic room, my insider calls, and also the PDUFA run-ups and phase data run-up stocks. But to protect the people that pay more to be in there, John is a member of the team, and so I have to think about the expenses of that. Celgion. That has not been on my radar. Let me see. Let me take a look at that and see what's going on. This trade is starting to work out for us. It's starting to do a little bit better. Right at the break-even point on this guy. $272. Oh, now we're moving upwards. All right, now we're making money. So Corey, these live streams happen for premium and standard members on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays as premium and standard only. And then just got a notification about Camping World and how it's going to rally. Well, that's great. I sold it. But hey, I can't complain about my, 18% gain or whatever I got on it. Maybe it was 22%. Anyway, it was a great trade. Can't look back. Moving on. And then for all members and also live, this is live on YouTube, so anyone can join the stream. And that is on Mondays and Thursdays. All right, it looks like we might break a new high here. This is looking really, really good. And 392.56 is that magic level. I am still waiting for that price notification. Pretty nuts. All right, great. New high. Here we go. Now the SPY's moving for us. Now we're doing good things. Brand new high. Okay, now we start to look at levels on the SPY now that we're starting to move into this. 393.50 is a key level. So that is a key level. Another key level is 394.49. And 393 is also key. So looking at 393, breaking that even dollar for a move even higher. Resistance 1, 391.26, way beyond that. Resistance 2, 392.94, way beyond that. Or no, we're not. 392.94, I guess, would be the next level to watch and see what happens here. But we are getting a ton of price strength down here, so there's no need to exit this trade by any means. Looking very good. Okay. $392.94. Let's see what it does when it hits that. Not a surprise that it bounced there. It's $392.93. There are probably a lot of sellers at that range. All right, 293 is the current price on that option that we were in. So what is that? It's almost 20%. Take that all day long. I got no hope of getting into apron. I don't know. Maybe I will later. Crazy. Also, some alternatives if you're not comfortable with options and yet you want a leveraged fund. I highly recommend SPXL. That is a great stock to trade if you are looking for leverage. So that is the bullish 3X shares. That's the daily S&P 500 bull 3X shares, and that's a great one to trade. I've traded that in the past with stock on days I felt a little unsure about the market, not going into options. Of course, this options trade is really looking good. It looks like we're heading for 393.50 here. Looking very bullish. Past the level of 393, that was the next level to hit. It'll be interesting to see how it acts when it hits that 393.50, that $0.50. And if it breaks that, then we're moving much higher. I think the next is going to be 394.49. That is resistance 3. That is going to be absolutely key. Okay, so my price and volume indicator finally said to go a call option. So that is 4 out of 5 that this is a call, and the 5 things I look for market direction. Most likely we are moving higher. David, when did I get in on a SPY? Let's see. I bought options, and I bought the $395 call expiring on 3/19, and my average is $2.58. Of course, feeling very good about that trade. Which is currently at 309. So you take 309 divided by 258. Yeah, about 19% up right now in that call option. So looking good. Waiting for price weakness before I sell out. I'm just watching the chart at this point. Our RSI is very, very high, so it's not uncommon to see a pullback like that, a 5-minute pullback, especially when it passes 70. So that is totally normal. But I don't know if the market cares about it hitting a good value, especially on this short term of a chart. So that's a tougher thing to read, but it's moving much, much higher. And as long as there's this price strength, I'm not looking for an exit point. I will look for an exit point when these narrow and we see a negative cross, and that's when I'll get out. Oh. Grand Admiral Thrawn, books about day trading that I recommend. You know, I haven't read any. So on the day trading strategy specifically, there are some really good trades. Well, I take that back. One Good Trade by Mike Bellafiore, I think is a great book on day trading. Of course, I say that because I am an SMB Capital student, and so that's where I learned a lot of the stuff that I know about chart reading. As far as insiders, I did not get that from SMB Capital at all, but that's what I would recommend. And my thing, One Good Trade, I would say, is very, very good. Very good. And also to have a strategy behind all your trades. Don't chase, have a strategy. I have a clear technical strategy of when I enter and when I exit based upon VWAP. I'm also looking at different levels like R3, R1, R2, resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3. I can talk a lot about that subject. These levels are really, really important because the big funds, they pay attention to them, and I tell you, the professional traders definitely pay attention to them, and they look to enter a trade, and they base on when they sell based upon levels, and so that is just so important. Tanner, I think we missed the ball on apron. Yeah, it's pretty high. It's a real bummer. That's going to be the bummer of doing these is that I'm going to miss out on some of those, and I'm okay with that. I think this adds a lot of value to my channel and to the different things that are going on it. So I think it's good. David, are there any more upside on AVO? Analyst price targets are right around $20. I do not know where AVO is at right at the moment because I'm paying attention to this trade, but that is something to kind of think about. So I would say if it got any higher than that, that's a good time to sell. I mean, especially if it hits a price target, analyst price target. But I do expect it to fade. I think the excitement over it will fade after it being up so much. Reason being is because everyone's going to want to take profits on that, and yeah. Oh, you got out of SPY, huh? Well, I can understand that. I mean, I've definitely done that before. It's just one of those things. But this is shaping up to be a really great trade. Hope a lot of you got in on it, and this part can be kind of boring, where we just kind of wait for price action to determine an exit point. I think it can go higher. 393.25 is kind of where it stopped. 393.50 is a big deal, that particular level. So it's normal to see it bounce down a little bit once it hit 393. So that's a big red candle. Well, that's no fun. All right, let's see what we got here. Normal to see a pullback after such a strong move. I would not buy this dip though, because this becomes pretty dangerous. This is a bad part to enter. Now I will wait for a full candle to form on this. So a negative cross, we're getting really close here. You can see these two things are really, really close. I still think it's too soon. I think it's going to move higher. Also, I want to encourage you all to hit that like button on this. It helps the channel definitely. So if you could do me a favor, please hit that most amazing, wonderful like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. EC. Yeah, this can be impossible to do if you have a job. It definitely is a tough thing to day trade, and I had to wait until I was really doing this full time before I could really do this like this. And I'm not always successful, but usually in my trades. Okay, what's going to happen here? Oh, time to exit. I just got out at 289 of my call options. So overall, a great trade. 12% gain. I'll take it. So let me take a look here. Let's see. All right. Well, all right. Now let's, since that trade has completed, I'm going to take a look at Apron here because I have so many members on this call, on this call, kind of looking at it. Okay, so we got red forming here. I'm gonna help everyone with an entry point. I expect there to be a stop loss party to happen on this. This has climbed too far upwards. But this had significant insider activity, and let me just kind of go through what I saw on that. This is what I liked about it, and this was from yesterday for those that aren't in the room, but then I appreciate you being a part of this. So yeah, let me just kind of show this here. All right, so this is insider-monitor.com. This is Apron here. I like it because we have multiple officers going in, a good amount of money, and I checked and looked. It's very important that they be open market, and both of these transactions were open market. And so based on this information, I was looking for an entry into Apron. I set out what I normally like to do and try for a great entry, but what happened is I was a little too aggressive in this point. But you know, hey, I didn't pay as high as this person at 860 or 858. Now I'll just wait for this dip to form here. And okay, so here's what happens in the market. And I don't know if a lot of you know this, but one thing that happens is that during market open, especially on bullish days, you know, everything's up, everything's wonderful, everything's great. And then typically right after an hour of market being open, you see the big hedge funds who try to stop other people out. And so it is typical to see stocks lose value between the hours. And this is central time of the market being open 1 hour to 2 hours. And you can get some really, really good deals that way. And so that's what I'm going to watch for, I think, for entry on Apron, since I missed it before. I do think this one will do very well, but that's kind of the next thing. Now, this will be a very boring process, so I don't know if I'll stay on for the entire thing. But anyway, that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so Corey, there are multiple things I'm looking for. Yes, I care about VWAP, and I don't have VWAP even on this. I never want to trade a stock that is below VWAP. It's just not a good idea. Let's see. Let me put VWAP on here. So if it's below VWAP, and insiders are different. Insiders are different because the catalyst is different. But if I was looking at a day trade, I would want to make sure that it is above this VWAP level before I traded it. But I do care more about entries and exits with the MACD. That gets me a clear entry and exit point. So as you look here at Apron here on the bottom, you can see that this is negative. I mean, so there's going to be some sellers. So there's going to be some people that have been holding this for a long period of time who are trying to get out of it, or some stop losses, whether it be some people that have day traded it, so on and so forth. Now with the SPY, I mean, yeah, you can see it's above VWAP. But yeah, I mean, this was a good exit point here. So kind of keep this in mind, that because of VWAP, this is where we exited. And you can see it came down here. It does not necessarily mean that it's not going to shoot up. We catch as much of the move as we possibly can, but there is no way you're ever going to catch 100% of the move all the time. So there isn't any indicator, at least that I know of. If you find the magic formula, please let me know. But that is that is the way that it is. Okay. So back to Apron. See what we got here. And if there's any stocks any of you want me to look up, I'm more than happy to do that for you. I had an open, I can't believe I did this, and I normally don't do this, but I had an open options trade on SPXL, and I just sold that. That was pretty spectacular. Nice little 36% gain this morning. Take that. Let's see. Man, I'm having a very green day. I hope all of you are as well. TRCH. I can definitely do that. That sounds fun. Little torchlight. Ooh, really nice. Really, really nice. This is a really nice run here. Babola? No, I'm not in Apron yet. I was busy in another trade. I mean, during this broadcast, and I wasn't able to enter, wasn't able to get a good price. I will enter it. I am now waiting for that 9:30 to 10:30 hour for a great deal to present itself. Okay, so let's take a look at this torchlight. All right, so everything is looking very good here, up 3% so far this morning. Volume is good. Volume is good, definitely. It is trading above the VWAP, and so that is a good thing. I don't know if you're looking for a day trade on this or a swing, but anyway, all those indicators are looking good. Let's take a look at the daily. Okay, so previous high of 483. That was on the 16th of February. Boy, everything was at a high on the 16th of February. And you can see this correction. You got A, B, and then C, which was the longest here, and then you can kind of see the recovery happening as we get above the long-term SMA line on the EMA. So this is definitely in an uptrend. It is looking good. The other thing you can look at for swings, believe it or not, this is something that works on the daily if you're doing a swing play. You know, again, look at the MACD. There's your entry. There's your exit. It gets you clear, and that's why I love it for a trading, and that would have been a successful trade. That would have been right at $2 and then out at what, 285? I mean, that's a brilliant trade. That's really, really good. That's almost 35%. So that's really, really good. I think that's really, really good. And so since you're already in the position, I would not sell yet. And the reason I wouldn't is because we are seeing it improving here on the daily. And so I just hold it. I'd hold it. I'd wait for it to go positive before I thought about selling. And then I would wait for it to go back negative on the daily. And then once that happened, I would get out of it. Since you're in it for the long term and you're in a position, hopefully you are reverse merger. Okay. So I obviously know nothing about this stock, but I would say it's a good one to stay in. So going back to Apron here. Okay. Oh, that's on the daily. I don't want that. See? Look at that. Giving us a better entry point. So now we just wait. And this is boring. And it was Charles Schwab that said, if investing is boring, you're doing it right. And he also said that if I talk to somebody and they say they're having fun investing, I know they're losing money. So I don't know. I think that statement's a little wrong because I have fun every day trading stocks. I absolutely love it. I have a passion for it. But being successful makes it that way. There are times it's boring. Like sometimes I'll just sit around for an hour just waiting for an entry point, which might happen here on Apron. Yeah, John, Apron is going to get a really nice dip here. I'm a new low. So typically, literally, and this is like one of my secrets for sure, is using the MACD. And I don't know why it's a secret, because all stock traders should be talking about the MACD, the crossover positive versus negative. It's just so clear. The other thing to look at is RSI. So when you see RSI hit 30 or below, typically on a stock, especially like this one, you're going to get a bounce. So the volume is pathetic on Apron. This thing is not getting the type of volume that I'd like to see. So it's way up, but it's just because it's low volume. I think the sentiment, when I was thinking about this and saw the insider, and I was just kind of thinking through the trade, I was, the whole thing about Apron is that they've been doing so well based on things going, everything with the pandemic. So no pandemic, how well are they going to do? Yes, they are probably going to report great earnings, and that is probably the reason for the insider activity. And so let me see when the earnings is on this guy. Let's take a look here. Okay. February 18th. I think we're past that. Maybe they haven't reported earnings yet. Let's go to a better source. That's terrible. I hope all of you are having a fantastic trading day so far. I am sitting at... I'm doing okay. I'm like 2% up for the day. Actually 3% up, almost 3% up for the day. I'll take it. You know, steady 3% every day. Right now, I'm just kind of watching for an entry point on APRN. This is going to be a swing play based on insider activity, and literally just waiting for it to do its thing. Show you how to use the filter on Insider Monitor website. I mean, it doesn't really have any filters. It just reports the information from the SEC. There's a couple different sources you can get for it. It's insider-monitor.com, but I do not share everything. I don't share all of my secrets, and so that is something on there that, as far as what's significant and what's not significant, that's lots of years of learning how to look at it and how to do it. Rex, good to hear. 3.5%. That's great. Oh, this is like watching paint dry. Does anyone else want me to look up any technical analysis on another stock? I plan on being on until 9:30. Ryan, CTHR going up. That's great. Oh, you want me to look up Apple? I love Apple. It's one of my favorite stocks. So, Apple this morning, to those that don't, or it was yesterday, they got a new price target that was really, really good. Oof. Yeah, providing a nice little dip. And again, you can see when it happens right here around 10:20, it started to happen. You get this big stop out kind of going. See, for the day, they're up 1.2%. That's really good. Them passing above VWAP is a big deal. That is a level that I would look for. I would definitely not enter before that. Apple has a lot of good news. You know, they got that new price target, and then also some other things going for them. They announced some of the details of their camera on their next iPhone and talked about that. So that's going to be, I think, really great for sales for them, and really good for them. But Apple's not a good entry right now at all. I would definitely wait for this to dip. Let's take a look at the daily and just kind of see where we're at. Man, this pullback has been so hard on Apple, all the way up from 145 all the way down to 116. That is just brutal, and that's one of the reasons why the NASDAQ did so bad. It's because Apple is so much of that. So yes, it was a terrific value here. You can see it getting to that 30 RSI, and Apple on the daily below 30 RSI is a buy every day of the week. In my opinion, it will never go down. I mean, I'm looking at an Apple phone right now. All of us have. There's so many of us. They have such huge market share, and so you can almost count on it. You know, you sell at 70 RSI on the daily, and you buy at the and you buy when it's lower. And I mean, it's almost like clockwork. You can definitely buy Apple that way. Another one that's that way, a great stock that is that way, is MU. Is another one that you can just, over time, you can just buy. Actually, let's take a look at MU. So yeah, Micron Tech. All right. RSI, would that have been a good buy here at, what is that, 80? Yeah, that would have been great. That was on January 27th. All right. Then would this have been this would have been a sell point, but that didn't work. Interesting. That's when it was at its best deal, was right there. And that is a really low RSI. So selling here, yeah, or anywhere in here, yeah. And then buying here, that would have been a good trade. And then selling close to here would have been a good trade. In fact, I don't think you would have sold it yet because it never got above 70. And so continue on, and I think with the market recovery that MU will do better. So you can buy and sell that way. It's just technical, and I know I kind of oversimplify. I make everything really simple, but on the daily here, if you would have bought it here, let's say you bought it here, I still think you're in great shape. Above 70 RSI, it was at 68 right here. Yeah, that would have been the time to sell, and probably throughout the day it hit above 70 on the daily. So that would have been a great time to sell. This would have been a fantastic time to buy, and then you still would have been in it, just kind of riding it as it goes. I mean, there's so many stocks you can do that with, blue chip stocks, and there are lots of traders that trade that way. I like insiders personally. Speaking of insiders, let's go back to Apron and see what's going on there. Okay. So daily, let's go to more of a... It's recovering from this low here. Yeah. Volume on this stock is terrible. I tell you what, that really worries me. I do not like to see this low volume. Apple. All right, let's take a look at NEO. Andrew. NEO keeps getting new price targets and new stuff. New $60 price target announced this morning. Let's see, it got all the way up to 44. All the way down here. This is a really good entry point right now on NEO, in my opinion. This is good as we see this crossover. Now it is below the VWAP, but I still think it's good. Let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, here's another one. I wish I always practiced what I preached, but yeah, look at this. I mean, that would have been so beautiful, the entry right there. Anyway, so on and so forth. I think NEO is great to enter right now. I think it's on an uptrend, and it is really close here with that new price target. That is a great catalyst to move it upwards. So I think that NEO is perfect for an entry right now. I would say 43.16, 43.25, anything around there. 43.28 like it is right now. I think you can feel good. I think it's on the uptrend. So I think that that's a good one to get in. All right, NEO, GVO. Let's take a look at GVO. GVO. Okay, GVO. Wow. Okay. Above VWAP. Great entry point right now. 887 provided that best point. I don't know if you can get it at that. I think it's going to move upwards from here. I think right at this moment, this is a good time to enter for GVO. But let's take a look at the daily and see what's going on. Yeah, I think it's going to recover with the market. I would feel very confident in entering this stock right now. So, okay, GVO. Sounds good. I was planning on swinging AI. All right, let's take a look. Whoa. I don't think it'll go much lower. Let's see. I don't like this one as much. I, of course, don't know what the catalysts are here. I would be patient because it looks like it's going to form red for an entry point. If you're trying to enter, if you're already in it, you know, I think you hold out. It all depends on your time frame, on what you're wanting to do. If you have a swing strategy, then the daily is the way to go. If you are utilizing a a day trading strategy, then you would want to wait for the negative crossover, because right now it's positive, and then you would want to wait until it went positive and enter there. And then, for me, I would exit again when those two cross again, those two moving averages, because that protects you from downside if you're planning on doing that. Let's see what's next. Okay, which color is the RSI MAC, and I'm sure you meant MACD, and the VWAP line? Okay, so the VWAP line is, and let's go back to apron, because this is one I'm looking for an entry point on. Okay, so that's the hour. Let's go to the minute. Okay. It's not a very strong turnaround. Okay, so colors. This is VWAP, the yellow right here. The blue line here is my SMA line, so that blue line right there. And then this is RSI right here, where my cursor is. As you can see right there, it's at 46.30, 46.72, and this is the MACD down here. This is two moving averages is how the MACD is set, and so anyway, this is it looks like apron is on an upturn. I'm gonna give up and start a small position on apron. I'm gonna scale in on this, so I'm gonna do a quarter of what I would normally do. I'm just going to buy in this thing slowly throughout the day. So anyway, finally finding an entry on this. Okay, so I just bought a little bit of apron at $8.29. And I think other people are trying to enter at the same time as me. Okay. And I just bought my first bit of apron at $8.34. So that's me. Oh gosh, that's so funny. But yes, this is looking positive. So I bought a fourth of what I plan on buying, and I'm gonna go from there. But I just did a little bit. So well, I hope all of you have enjoyed this broadcast. I'm going to leave and do some trading and update members on different things. Hopefully you made money on this day trade, and I appreciate all of you watching and being a part. Hopefully you learned something, at least the way I trade. You know, do I know everything? No. But I have had success in trading the stock market, and so that is a lot of the things that I like to look at. And till next time, next Monday will be another open session for each and every one if you are a standard or a premium member in our group. Then tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. So wishing you all the best on the trading market today, and Raythoven out.